East Coast. And he looked around and he saw this deeded land, but he said, "Ooh, it's got all these public lands attached to it. Well, it's not just his lands. I'm an environmentalist, and I want to know what's going on here." So he said, "You know what? I'm entitled to go on your public lands, because they're public." And the cowboy said, "Ooh, no. Well, okay, we've got to make a deal. You can do and you can raise all the money you want to do your studies. But the one thing we have to agree on before we don't fight over it is the horse is feral. Oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to raise a lot of money so I can study all the little bugs around here." And they were both happy. Then a little later, another guy shows up and he looks on and he says, "Whew, look at that deed of land over there, and it has all these public acres to go with it. Well, I'm Fish and Wildlife, and I like, all my people like to hunt. You know what? We're allowed to hunt on your public lands." And he said, "Oh, no." He said, yeah, it's public and we're allowed to do it." He said, "Okay, but let's make a deal. You all can hunt and you can all bring your grandsons and they can all go kill the deer and do whatever. But remember this, the horse is feral." He said, "Oh, don't worry about that. We'd shoot the horse if we could." So I thought, oh my God, okay. Anyway, they became best friends and they were all in bed together. A little while later, another guy arrives in town and he looks at all these lands and he doesn't care about the deeded lands, but he spots those public lands and those hills and he says, "You know what? I'm with ATVs and motorbikes and off-road vehicles and this looks pretty good to me, and the public is entitled to ride around and scavenge these lands and make a big loud noise, and we want the right to do this, and these are the public lands and we're allowed to, and we'll join with you." And say, "Ooh, no, not you as well." And so there we go. You know, he said, "The horse is feral. Oh, we don't care about the horse. We just don't want to be near it. We're just going to be enjoying our bikes and having a big old time." So they got in bed together. Well, now you can see what a great big lobbying group they've got, right? And we have not done a good job garnering people. We've been fractured. The one thing we have in common is that we just care about the horse. But there was no resource for the horse. You see, everybody came. Environmentalists raised money, ATVs, you name it, hunting licenses. Everybody was having a good old time on the public lands. But nobody had found a solution. Nobody had any reason as to why the horse was an incredible resource. The horse is one of the United States' greatest resources. It is a tourist attraction. It is an icon. And along came Saving America's Mustangs, and we said, "Okay, we don't want your deeded land, and we don't want your public lands farmer or rancher or whatever you are. But I want to do the same thing as you. I'm going to buy my deeded lands. We're going to put it in a foundation for the horses. And then we want all the rights to this public lands just as the last owner had. And we'll have the same thing, but we would like for you to change it to horse grazing from cattle grazing. Then we won't hurt any rancher, any cattleman. We don't interfere with them. They continue doing what they do. But let us take care of America's resource. Because if I had to open up an eco-sanctuary in the Sahara Desert, I couldn't do it. You know, I'd have camels. But I'd have to buy horses. I'd have to come to you, beg you to give me horses, take them over there and create an eco-sanctuary. We're here, we're in America. We own these horses. They are federal horses. They are a huge resource. Trust me, you go to Japan, they're running around with their cowboy hats and the cowboy boots, or you go to Germany, Japan, you name it. They love the image of America. They really do. And why waste it? And it's not good when the government does it, because as you know, you show up to a park and nothing wrong with it. But there's a little hut, you know, and this table, 2 chairs, and they tell you to take a map, and you all go, you know, hiking, and that's great. But we have an opportunity here to educate people who come and show them what we have. You know, we need 2 million acres.
Madeleine, can I just one quick thing?
This will have to be the last question.
Okay, thank you. Madeleine, my concern about the eco-sanctuary idea is, my understanding is that the ranchers in the Midwest who get the 500 or so bucks a year per horse, they own their own private land. And so they have a mortgage or whatever on that private land. They have no public lands attached. They are not paying $1.35 per AUM per month for their public land allotments. So I see your situation being a bit of a conflict in how things have been set up in the past. Not that it couldn't be done, but I see a conflict with regard to how can you expect to use the public lands that are attached to your base property and expect to get $500 a year per horse from the BLM when you're using public lands for grazing, when the other long-term holding facilities are all on private lands exclusively and they are not using public lands. I see a disconnect there, and I don't know if that's what is holding up this process.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
You agree to pay them $1.32 a month per animal, and they pay you the $500.
Thank you all so much.
Thanks,